De verdad que yo creo que es mucho más de lo que esperábamos, incluso los propios jefes de producto, cuando de verdad lo puedes ver así en una toma de contacto. Así que nada, os dejo con ellos, que seguro que os entretienen más que yo, y muchas gracias a todos por venir.
Thank you, and thank you very much for welcoming us today to Gamelab. We're really happy to be here. I'm Nicolas Doucet. I'm the producer on iPad, working for London Studio.
And my name is Masami. Hello. I'm working for London Studio. I'm a director on iPad. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Okay, so today we wanted to come and see you and not do a fancy presentation with lots of slides and technical terms. We wanted to do something very raw and honest and really simple. In a lot of the things that a lot of the times that we've developed trailers for iPad, we've always insisted on making a very, very simple and truthful statement. So, just a bit of background before we show you a few videos. We at the London Studio originally developed the iToy Play franchise for PlayStation 2. So that was a big success for us in the whole of Europe and also America and Japan. And we brought a camera for the first time into people's living room and made it entertainment. Whereas before, a webcam was used for more like for work or office or things like that. So when we switched to PlayStation 3, we really wanted to create the magic of iToy Play, but on PS3. So on the PlayStation 2 with iToy Play, we took the player and put him in a virtual world, so you could wash windows, you could punch ninjas, and play in all sorts of sports. On PlayStation 3, this time we reversed this analogy, and instead we are bringing a virtual entity into the real world. And this is how the concept of iPad was born. So we want to show you first the trailer of the game. And for those who haven't seen it yet, you can discover iPad.
Full screen.
Okay, so that's the trailer we just released for E3. So before going into the presentation, just a bit more about the concept. Obviously, we wanted to let the pictures talk for themselves, but the concept of iPad is to bring a virtual pet into the living room. So using the new camera for PlayStation 3, you point it down at the floor, and then we magically bring this pet in the living room with you. So you can interact with him, you can play with him the same way you'd play with a real pet. And we also have all sorts of other magical features in iPad. And today we wanted to show you actually how we create magic out of technology. So the whole point of this talk really is to show you what we do every day when we research raw technology and how we turn it into entertainment and into magic for families and kids. So I just get this other video going, and I will be talking over the top. Okay, so this is today's talk. So from technology to magic. So we're going to look at a few sections, and the first one is play fighting. So when you have a virtual pet, if you have a real pet, part of the interactions you have with him is to chase him and for him to chase you back and to have this play fight. And for this, to develop this sort of interaction, we use very, very raw graphics, prototypes, and this is how we get all the interactions working. Before we put any pretty graphics, we really develop interactions out of really, really raw graphics. So you're going to see them. So the first video shows one of our guys in the office is holding a colored ball in his hand, and the camera is tracking that ball. And you can see here, there's like a gray block following that ball, and the gray block is the pet. So this video is from about 18 months ago. So you can see the pet is following the ball, and then you can hang on to it, and then this is what happened once we dressed up and we transformed the game. This is the interactions that we ended up with. So the second...
to make the box to iPad, we use the kitten movement, kitten video as a reference to make it real creature, like to believe real living animals. So we did a lot of animation studies, referred loads of animal movement that we wanted to capture each element towards to make iPad really cute and then believable.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the second part, we also did some research on this. This is the stroking. So stroking is when you obviously caress and touch the animal. And obviously, we are playing with a camera, so you can't actually feel the fur. So we need to do a lot of work with the sound and the visuals to make it feel as if you were touching. So for this prototype, we used what we call our upside-down table. That's all it is. It's just a table we put upside down, and when you touch it, the thing reacts. So that's really basic, but actually it feels really good. So we spent some time making sure that, if you start shaking your hand, the thing goes faster. And eventually, this is how it ended up in the product. We actually added a lot more interactions and reactions from the creature. Okay, so next section is about awareness. So one of the elements that we wanted to do with iPad is to make it feel like the creature really was aware of his surroundings. So he can see people, he can hear people, and he can track their movement. So we want to give a sense that it's really believable. And so we developed a sort of senses for the pet. So here you can see on this, it's a little bit dark, but you see these block pet has got a few blocks around him, a few blue lines. Now these are like emergency sensors, if you like. If you come and jump and go into those sensors, then we create different reactions. So the very, very big one around the screen, this is his general awareness. This is what's going on around me. A little bit closer, there's a medium-sized one around him. This is like if something comes really fast towards me, I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to go out of the way. And finally, the small blocks, these ones are more for direct contact. So like if something is coming slowly towards me and touching me, that's okay. So it's very much a case of recreating senses with programs. So you're going to see now the guy is going to happen really quickly. The guy is going to come and jump into the pet and see what happens. He runs away. The pet comes back, and then if he's gentle, he can caress him, and that's fine. Now, in the game, this is how an example of how it translated. You could roll a ball or an orange, and then the pet...